Hey Geek, so the New Year's is fast coming upon us, and I wanted to end it off with, well, probably the best year of my gaming life. And that year was 9/9/99, and for anybody knows, that was the release of the Sega Dreamcast. Uh, Absolutely my favorite game system, mainly because I love Sega and I love Sega arcade games specifically. And there was one game that stood out above all of them. Not only is it the greatest of all time Sega Dreamcast game, but it's one of the greatest of all time games ever. And of course, the game that I'm talking about here is, well, Soul Calibur. And so today we're gonna play it because, well, why not? So let's go ahead and play like my favorite game of the year. Well, 1999 for sure, but one of my favorite games of all time. So let's go ahead and check out Soul Calibur. So let me tell you, the first time I saw this, absolutely, I mean, I really have no words. It's the most incredible thing. And you got to remember, when this came out, it had already come out in the arcades, and it was based upon the modified PlayStation hardware. Still looked really, really great. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. But whenever the Dreamcast version came out, I was like, oh my god, better than the arcade. And the graphics was just mind-blowing. I've not ever seen anything like it in terms of a home console. And one thing that's really important to me and that I've always wanted was like, hey, how am I going to get the arcade experience at home? Even though we had hardware like from the Sega Saturn and the Sony PlayStation that could definitely do it, it just never quite, to me, had that arcade perfect feel all the time. You know, like I never felt like I was playing the arcade. I kind of felt like I was playing a home console, you know, even though the hardware was definitely powerful enough and they definitely could produce amazing graphics. For some reason, I just didn't feel it. Whereas with the Dreamcast, like, the vast majority of games were all done by Sega, okay? And they were all, like, if not arcade perfect, better than arcade perfect or very close. And it's been a while since I played this, so I'm getting destroyed right there. And I couldn't tell you how long when I was playing this, I didn't even, honestly, I didn't really get to appreciate the gameplay or anything because I was so like in awe of what I was seeing. I was like, I cannot believe I am playing this at home. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And then obviously when you get to the gameplay, nuts. It's absolutely nuts. And for anybody who remembers, this is actually the sequel to the Soul Edge series that was released on PlayStation hardware. And I don't remember if there was Soul Edge and then there was Soul Blade. That's right, Soul Edge, Soul Blade, and then there was Soul Calibur. And this one, whenever I did buy my Dreamcast, I bought Sonic Adventure, of course, but then I got Soul Calibur. And don't get me wrong, Sonic Adventure was absolutely awesome. I mean, this is what I always wanted on the Sega Saturn. We never got a 3D Sonic on the Sega Saturn. But whenever we got this, wow, absolutely crazy. So, since I spent like the first minute or so just gushing about the amazing graphics, the game itself, it's just a revolution, you know what I mean? I mean, the weapons combat, that was introduced, well, it's introduced in earlier games, but I was thinking a lot about Samurai Showdown, and this is basically Samurai Showdown 3D and Tekken combined, you know, so some of the best games I've ever played. And the character designs, man, just absolutely nuts. Ivy, boy, she's just a sexy badass. Cool, really cool weapon with her chain. And then she was just a really fierce character. Her sword whip. And then you have like characters like Vodo, man, just really creepy but awesome at the same time. Oh man, what am I doing? I don't even remember how to do any of the combos. Yeah, and Vodo was just crazy looking. And you could get alternate costumes as well. And as you can tell, I'm playing this pretty poorly. Oh man. Oh man. And you know, if you really got good at this, of course, as with any fighting game, you could learn how to string combos and do all types of crazy stuff. And I am trying to... Oh man, I'm trying to get back to how to play this. Oh, well, I just died. Well, let's try one more time. And everything was just so smooth, you know. I mean, really focus on the battle mechanics, the ring outs, and let's talk about the backgrounds and stuff, man. They're just really, really sweet. Oh wow, that was just so cheap. All right. Oh man, yeah, and I did the outer ring a lot in this game. Look at this, man. And still to this day, I still think this game holds up so well. And that's the testament to not only the hardware that the Dreamcast was able to provide, but really it was just like the team, you know, at Namco to just come out of the gates absolutely blowing away anything that was ever made. And honestly, if more games came out that were like this, I kind of felt like the Dreamcast would have had a longer shelf life. Alright, but unfortunately, as anybody knows, the Dreamcast did not last until like 2001. It ended. You know, 999 was just such a momentous moment for not only Sega fans, but just gamers in general. It did, I'd say good in Japan, but not great. Okay, and in Japan, I think the best selling game was Virtua Fighter Tournament. And Virtua Fighter was definitely a lot more popular in Japan than it was in the United States. But Namco, they did a really great job in just waiting, you know, for the US release to really bring this out. Because the US launch of the Sega Dreamcast was pretty phenomenal. There were like 19 games that were released. And they had like just bangers. And the Sega Dreamcast, I think, was the best system launch that Sega's ever done. And I would say this was really in response to the poor, really surprising release that they had with the Sega Saturn. Just really messed that up. I mean, they didn't tell their partners that they were going to be released it early, trying to surprise or get ahead of the Sony PlayStation, but it was just really bad. And I remember getting my Sega Saturn and there were like basically no games. You just had to wait, you know, because of the fact that they didn't tell their partners, so they didn't have time to prepare, and the launch was really bad. And then by the time the Sony PlayStation came out, they had an amazing release, you know. Oh, and another thing I like about this is it's set in like a feudal Japan period, you know, with characters like Mitsurugi and stuff. And Taki, she was from the original Soul Edge and Soul Blade. She was an awesome character. Oh. And I wasn't that great with Ivy. I, like most people, probably started with Mitsugiri and Taki because I was familiar with them. But I never really got good at too many characters, you know. I just played whoever I could. Yep, definitely lost. Oh man. And I never really got good at this, you know. And honestly, in terms of my fighting game abilities, I'm just like maybe okay to average, you know. I was never got good at it, even though I played a lot of fighting games. It just takes a certain level of skill to get really good at it, especially when it comes to stringing combos and stuff. Oh man. Yeah, I knew I was gonna be able to get that in there. Look at that sword whip. Love that. Oh. Oh, you're not gonna get me, Taki? Oh, that was such a horrible finish. And also the background, there's a lot of motion and stuff going on. It's always cool to watch. Oh yeah. The sword with the eye. Inferno. And I don't remember if the Soul Edge, Soul Blade, it was also Inferno. Yeah. So Inferno is kind of like the catch-all enemy that has everybody's powers. You know, kind of like a cop-out, kind of like Dural, you know, in Virtua Fighter. It just has everybody's power. Oh wow, that was a... Oh great, yeah, I was getting killed there. I'm gonna go ahead and, since I'm already here, pass it with Ivy, and then I'll maybe do another round. Oh, with another character that I like. And you know, honestly, the play mechanics of Soul Calibur didn't really change much over the years. Oh man, I can't believe it. He got me there. All right. Yeah, and so, you know, not to say that Soul Calibur got bad, it just got like kind of boring in my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still like better than most fighting games out there, but oh right, there you go. But I just kind of felt like it was the same for the most part. I mean, it's still one of the greatest gaming series, but at least for me personally, Soul Calibur was the high watermark for me, you know. I mean, I think I have Soul Calibur 6 or something. Oh man, boy, he really beat me there. Well, he's using the same weapon I am. Okay. Oh yeah, that's what it is. Every round he changes to, or it changes to whatever character they want. Oh, come on. Come on, one more. Oh no. Oh. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. And it's those type of situations that are always fun. Okay, I can't try, like, I'm just gonna try to win no matter what. I don't care. Yes, do it. That's the one thing. I could always count on a ring out. And yeah, Kilik, the bad thing about him is it's a long range weapon, so if I close the gap. Oh man, nope, I couldn't close the gap. I could beat him. Come on. And another thing that Namco did really well with this is they added so many additional things that were not in the arcade, including the story modes and so forth. Oh. Oh wow, I'm getting, as you can tell, really bad. Really bad. I don't know why I can't. Oh man, look at that. Look at that. Who is that? Okay. Yeah, I'm not blocking. Oh man, I'm getting killed. And that's another thing that I really enjoyed about this game. You know, it's one of those fighting games that is so good that you just want to keep playing, you know? Like, no matter how many times I die, I just want to keep playing until I beat the enemy. And it doesn't take you too long to get there. Oh man. But wow, I really suck at this. I just want to pass this with Ivy. So, ooh. And whenever I had this, the thing that disappointed me with this Sega Dreamcast was the controller. I just didn't really like it. It wasn't. I wish they would have just put in a 6-button controller like they had with the Sega Genesis. And you know, it's very reminiscent of the Sega Saturn controller, so not the best. Oh yeah, perfect. Yes, finally. And also, whenever you beat this game, as anybody remembers, you know, you get unlockables and stuff. And Soul Calibur was never really about the story, I wouldn't say. Even though you played in story mode, you're just basically collecting stuff. But still, at least they have this, you know, some nice artwork and stuff. And yeah. And there was something else about this game that I recall. I can't remember now. There was something else about it. But you got to remember, at the time that this came out, the internet wasn't what it was, I mean, back then, what it is today. You just couldn't like go online and find out everything about a game before it was released. most of the stuff that you knew was still came from game magazines. And man, I spent like months and months, you know, just looking at the pictures, the screenshots on game magazines, and I was just like, wow, is this really what it's gonna look like whenever it comes here? And at some point, you know, you kind of thought like, man, this stuff is fake, you know, because you never really know, you know, with game magazines, they always want to push out like the best looking stuff, and even then, at times they'll like put stuff that never arrives in the final game, or they'll show like pre-rendered stuff, you know, and say that's the actual graphics, which is not. So I'm gonna play one more game. Yeah, there's mission battle there. Let me see, what's another character that I like? Oh yeah, Taki. I really like her. Taki's cool, but I also like Maxi with the nunchucks. Oh great. And you have alternate costumes here, and you are able to play as Cervantes, if I can remember. So that's the pirate. Oh yeah, come on. Yeah, I like his because it reminds me of Bruce Lee, but also because his attacks are fast. Yeah, so I could string combos or just random combos a lot better with him. But obviously with him, you actually have to get a lot closer to their enemies. There's Nightmare. Oh yeah, Nightmare's a pain sometimes. But I just gotta close the gap with this one because Nightmare doesn't have range. But, yep. Yep. And honestly, it probably took me like a few weeks before I could just stop gloating about this game, just screaming at the top of my lungs. I can't believe it. It's so amazing. I mean, legit. And my friends at the time, you know, we were all just in the state of disbelief. Love the art design, man. I can't think of like, honestly, I really can't think of anything negative about this game. You know, it's one of those that if you have to think of like a perfect game, this is it. Oh man. And at least for me, Soul Calibur is, in my opinion, Namco's best fighting game series. You know, some would say Tekken, but I say Soul Calibur. That's my favorite. All right, yeah, Huang just got a beat down. And Bodo, there's some people who's really good with him. I don't know how. It's just kind of a hard character, at least for me. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, can't stop that. And it seems like the second go round, you're fighting these enemies with their alternate costumes. Okay. Oh god, that he just got me right there. So as with most of these fighting games, I try to hit hard and fast early, especially you know, get some attacks in so you could wear down their life bar. Otherwise, they could come back, especially with the computer. Oh yeah. And I'm pretty sure they modeled Maxi after Bruce Lee. Kinda think so. And let's talk about the music too. Man, the music is just amazing. Sometimes I would just listen to the soundtrack and that's it. You know, I just have it in the background or something. And one thing I kept thinking to myself was, how would this be as an RPG game? And they did try to incorporate that, you know, in the series with like their story mode, but like an actual JRPG with Soul Calibur characters. I thought that would be a pretty awesome idea with these graphics. Oh my god, man, she is pretty lethal. And sometimes he doesn't stop. He's just like constantly going. Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh man. I mean, could you imagine like a Soul Calibur JRPG with these graphics? I'm pretty sure it definitely could be done now, but oh man. And then when you fight your enemies, maybe it would fight in this type of style. Oh god, he's gonna get me. Oh, alright, okay. Okay, Keely, you got me. And you know, whenever the Dreamcast, it was released that first year, it was a banger. You know, but more and more, like in the game magazines, you kept seeing like screenshots and, you know, magazines, you kept seeing the PlayStation 2. And then, man, when the demos and stuff started coming out, and you started getting more information, and then it was going to have a DVD player, and the demos looked incredible. I mean, it was a way more powerful system than the Dreamcast. As powerful as the Dreamcast was. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. Because the Dreamcast at the time was the most powerful game system, and it had very similar power to the Model 3 board, which is pretty amazing in and of itself. But the PlayStation 2, it was just on another level. But still, even after the PlayStation 2 came out, I just didn't get that same arcade feel. I mean, to me, the Dreamcast truly was the... Oh god, truly was the arcade system for, I'm sorry. It truly was the game system for arcade lovers. Now, you could argue that Neo Geo, it's still... Well, it's an arcade machine, you know, so... There's really no argument there. I would say Neo Geo as a pure arcade machine, that was it. Because you were basically playing the arcade hardware. And this stage is nuts. And I would say Astaroth, man, he just looks menacing. Look at this. He's just wrecking me. Oh man. Yeah, just a few hits, you're dead. Oh. That's the only thing I hate. He's like constantly going into his motion once he gets into it. And he doesn't stop. Oh god. Look at those flames, man. Oh, come on. Alright. Okay. And I'm not sure what else Namco can do with the Soul Calibur series now. They tried a lot of things, but once again, I think it's just like basically an iteration of the same formula. Oh, come on. And I don't even remember the story about Inferno. He was just like, I guess the actual sword itself. Oh wow, he just got me there. Yeah, whenever Nightmare, this character plays as Nightmare, he's pretty hard. Oh. So now he's playing as Wang. And as I stated earlier, whenever they have these last bosses, who's basically a combination of all the characters, it's kind of cheap in my opinion. They could have given him something more unique, you know. Alright. Can I finish this off? Oh. Oh great, he's got Astra. Oh no. Oh wow. Alright, we're gonna have to try that again. Oh man, I thought I had him. Okay, Nightmare. Hate Nightmare. Oh god. Oh great. Man. I think he's hardest whenever he has Nightmare or Asura. Well, I say that now, then I might get a perfect. Nope. Alright, that always works. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Come on, ring out. Oh yeah, he jumped out himself. Oh Oh yeah. Well, that's it for Soul Calibur 1999. 999 specifically. My favorite year for gaming. Absolutely loved it. Oh yeah. Great job. Great job, Maxie. All right. So hopefully you had fun as well as I did in playing probably the greatest fighting game of all time. In some cases, I would say it could be up there. And also just having fun with the Dreamcast, you know, 99.99, and that your next year will be as awesome as it was at 1999. So thanks for watching. If you had any thoughts on this, be sure to leave in the comments there below, and I'll see you next year. Hey geeks, if you are a brand new creator and you simply want something easy to get you started, well, I got something for you with my Creator Starter Kit. This is a super simple step-by-step guide that's going to take you from having no channel to developing your very first YouTube channel, along with ideas, thumbnail designs, and other creator tips, including marketing. And the best part is, all of this is free. Simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and get started creating.